Welcome once again to our channel, the fisrt. I think that this video, I am sure that will be quite interesting for you, because if you remember in one previous video we were analyzing why the method of measuring resistance of an induction motor help us to assign which terminal is devoted to. But during the video we found that there was a measuring a value of resistance that was not was very strange, because it was not a current measuring by one way and measuring by other way. The values were quite different. So this mystery will be solved in this video. We will use the same motor like this. I have two identical motors, induction motors, and then we will use to find what the mystery was. And the video has been divided in two separated videos. I think it will be help people to select which part could be more interesting for themselves. The first part is dedicated to the practical part. We will see, we will open the motor, we will take out the stator and also the windings, and try to find if the first hypothesis that we have was correct or not. And as we discover what's happening behind, and was very interesting and strange thing, then in the second part
In a previous video, we faced a single-phase induction motor like this with 6 or 5 terminals that were not identified. So then there was some recommendations about making measurements every 2 pair of terminals, and then filling this table. A criteria has also given to detect which are the terminals for the washing and which are the terminals for the spin functionality. But at this moment we realized that there was something strange. The resistance measurement between the green and yellow was 91.8. When we took the resistance measurement between green and the common white, and also between the yellow and the common white, the value was 61.6. So if we sum up these two values, the result was 120. So then there is an incoherence between these two measurements. So at that time, let's see what are the reasons further. So now it's time to know what's happening behind all these measurements and the supposed hidden resistance that maybe are located in this part of the winding arrangement. If we have 91.8 ohms between green and yellow, it means that each resistance should be 1/2, 45.9 ohms per each resistance. but between green and common and between yellow and common we have measured 61.6. So it means that there is another impedance, another resistance, that the value should be 15.7. So maybe the spin windings is clear that are two windings offset 90 degrees. But if we see to the washing arrangement, it seems that there are not just two windings but three windings, the same way as a three-phase motor, but one of the winding is lower than the other windings. So we'll try to confirm if this arrangement is correct, but it's clear that it's not what we supposed at the beginning. The winding for the spin functionality is placed in the inner part of the stator, and the other windings for the washing functionality are located in the outer part of the stator. Here is not possible to see nothing special. The only way is just to untie the windings and to break it and try to see something. So let's go. Okay, then here we have the stator and the windings. It's easy to see the spin windings with just one pole, and we try to see in the outer part of the windings how the washing windings are connected between them. I'm going to cut and open windings, and then let's see after that. This is a view with the heads cut, and one can see how the washing windings are located. Windings are from one slot to the fourth slot. Is one fourth slots, and we have about 18 single windings that are interconnected. Similarly, as a three-phase induction motor. We are looking what are the number of wires that are present in each winding. So then we will cut the winding and counting wires. Here one can see a kind of a junction between two windings and the other one, but indeed we really cannot know exactly the origin at the ending of these two wires. No, it's not possible to see nothing exactly. It seems come from here to here, but just speculation. Here is the first winding, the second and the third. They are jointed from the inside and the other one from the outside. And in terms of how is the arrangement of the winding, one can see that one winding is overhanded the other. I guess it is easier to arrange the winding this way. Maybe that the other way will be more difficult. Before starting to count the wires, we need to pull out and to remove one winding as cleaner as possible. So we will cut. Once the winding have been cleared, one can see the inner part of the stator with the spin windings that we said at the beginning, and in the outer part there are the other windings, the washing, and we will try to search maybe these three. One could be the best because there is one external and two of them overhanded, so maybe this can be fine.
Esta sería uno, entonces, para contar, que es la que va imbricada por dentro.
We require some patience to remove the windings. Here we have four windings that we have just pulled out. The first one and the last one should be the same, because as we said previously, we expect that the winding arrangement is close to a three-phase winding. There is not any special technique to do the count, just trying to separate because the wires are glued with varnish. As you know, the purpose of the varnish is to prevent movement because of the vibrations, not for the isolation purposes. Each wire is isolated by itself. Okay, let's do the count. 1, 2. I think it will be better to finish this task and then I'll be with you again.
Bueno, ya hemos contado las espinas.
Here the results of the count. We've also found that the windings with few number of turns, the wire are also thicker than the other one. The second and the third, they have similar number of wires, and also both wires are the same, thinner, but the first and the fourth are also similar with a thicker wire. In any case, just to confirm these results, we will count 3 more windings to see if the results are the same. Here the results of some other counts of wires, and the results are absolutely similar. The final summary is that every three windings they are always the same. We have there is a measurement out of the range, but what is more common is that there is one winding with thicker wire that is about 100 turns, and there are two windings with a similar number of wires, 223, 213, that are changing every three windings. Once one winding has 223, the next is 213, and so on. So finally, the scheme, what we have seen at the motor, is that there are three windings really. Between yellow, green, and the common one, there are two windings that are similar, and one third winding a little bit lower, with a little bit lower value of resistance, and it is explained because the wire is thicker, and as we know that the resistance is directly proportional to the resistivity of the medium multiplied for the length and divided by the section, then if the section is higher and the length is lower, the equivalent resistance is of course lower than the other one. We hadn't a micrometer to test what are the sections of the thick and the thin wires, because we see that in terms of length, one winding is approximately twice the other winding, and with the relation between the two sections, then the final value of the resistance would be in in a proportion of 1/3. It was what we measured. So the mystery has been solved. The equivalent scheme is not the one that is commonly known for these single-phase motors. For the speed, there are two windings offset 90 degrees, but for the washing there are not two but three windings offset 120.